These are the Comic Kings.
All right, man, it's Comic Kings. We're still recovering from Captain Marvel. It's been a little over 2 weeks now. And
it's been 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks this week.
Okay.
Man, a lot's happened these past 2 weeks. Full disclosure, we're probably going to drop some Captain Marvel spoilers. So if you ain't seen the movie yet, you might want to click off now or just come back later when we're talking about it.
No. The embargo's up on Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel done made goddamn $1 billion. If you haven't seen it yet, that's on you.
Now, here's my question for you.
Yes.
There's been a lot of talk about Avengers Endgame spoilers. So how long are people supposed to wait before they start dropping spoilers on Twitter, online?
Avengers Endgame spoilers? I haven't seen any of
No,
those.
what I'm saying is, like, after you see the movie,
Yeah.
how long do you think people should wait before they start dropping all these spoilers online?
I think after first weekend, especially when it's a huge opening weekend,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I think everything's fair game. If a movie makes over $500 million, everything's fair game. And let's be clear, even if you do get spoilers about something, you still want to see it for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's something where you can have a different interpretation than other people.
Because I see people online talking about, y'all should wait 3 weeks before posting anything. I'm like, I don't want to wait after, because most people are going to see it the first weekend. What's the point of, like, not dropping all the spoilers on Twitter?
Captain Marvel's at how much worldwide now?
I think they passed Aquaman, Justice League.
Yeah, they had like
a bunch of the
M's.
Avengers. I think the first 2 Avengers movies, Captain America, they passed all of them already. So I think it's free for us to talk about spoilers.
Well, I'm gonna give you a spoiler right now.
Do it.
Motherfucking Nick Fury loses his eye in Captain
Fucking
Marvel.
trash. Fucking garbage. How he lost his eye.
I thought that was dope.
What do you mean? Okay.
I mean, it's not like how you lost it in the comic books, of course.
It's a fucking cat scratching his eye.
Not just a cat, it was a firkin.
It was a flirkin,
whatever the fuck.
Whatever the fuck it's
yes.
called. Doesn't that take away, like, everything that, you know, like the scene in Winter Soldier where he's like, oh, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. It was a fucking cat.
Yeah, he trusted it wasn't a cat, it was a flirkin.
It was a cat. It was a cat. Come on, Charlamagne. Don't do that to me.
Come on now. Cats don't eat people and objects like tesseracts.
Okay, but it was a cat. And I thought it was gonna be cool. I thought it was gonna be like a Kree, something like some type of alien shooting him in the eye. He was just gonna lose the eye. It was gonna be a badass moment.
Yeah.
And it was just the flirkin or the cat, whatever you want to call it.
I thought it was a big deal that Goose did that. You know, only because of the role that Goose played in that movie. If you read Captain Marvel comic books, you know his name was Chewie in the movie. So that cat plays a big role. So it's not like, you know, for us to sit here and just say, oh, a cat scratched out Nick Fury's eye. No.
That doesn't make him a little less badass to you?
Nah, he got his eye scratched out by a flirkin. When you find out what the fuck the flirkin can do, you're like, oh, wow, it could have been a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you could have ate him.
Yeah,
I guess. I just thought that the end scene with the eyeballs and it didn't do it for me. Kind of took away from the movie for me.
That was kind of whack. But then I thought about it. Right, I'm like, this is S.H.I.E.L.D. in the '90s, so technology isn't what it is now.
Yeah,
but that was also too. Because think about how Thor got an eye.
Yeah,
when Rocket Raccoon gave him an eye.
Well, that eye was like a space eye.
War.
That was like a space eye, though.
Yeah, but I just thought it was interesting that he was like, yo, I stole this from somebody. Like, I know that probably wasn't there was no connection, but I just thought it was interesting that in Endgame, Rocket gave Thor an eye and said he stole it from somebody, and then
Nick Fury?
Who?
Coulson was trying to give him a fake eye, yeah.
With all the eyes. I just thought that was dope. I was like, oh, okay.
But if you want to bring it back to the Infinity War point, is the fact that he got his eye, you know, scratched out, blown out, whatever, in Thor Ragnarok, and then now he just has, like, he looked cool with the patch on his eye. I fuck with that heavy, and then they're just like, oh, his eye's fixed now.
I'm not mad at that though. I thought that was a little awkward. I thought it was a little awkward because I was rewatching Endgame because, you know, we're all in that space now where
you gotta watch one a day to prepare.
Bruh, I'm just ready for an Endgame so bad. So I was watching Infinity War again the other day, and when Rocket gave it to him, I was like, that was kind of a random ass throwaway scene. It
was just so they didn't have to CGI the eye patch back on, because that's what they were doing. That wasn't like a practical eye patch. That was like a CGI'd on his face thing. Probably saved some money doing that too. If we're talking about other things that we didn't like from Captain Marvel too, I didn't like the Tesseract. I didn't like how they did the Tesseract thing. Like, I don't know. What did you think of that?
I didn't know if it was just a funny gag to show, like, you know, okay, cats cough up, you know, hairballs and stuff like that, but this is a flirkin. So it's kind of like a gag that the flirkin coughed up the Tesseract. I'm not sure what year it is.
It's right? 1995, 1996.
But I'm saying it got to be, right? And I was looking, I was like, is this a new scene or old scene? Because it could be a new scene where Nick Fury's gone. You know, he's been turned to dust, and he spit up this Tesseract. But when you look at the desk, you see the old computer.
Well, the Tesseract was in Infinity War. The Tesseract was in the beginning when Loki had it. Remember, Loki had it, gave it to Thanos, he smashed it.
Yes.
That takes place in the 90s because I was trying to put together the Tesseract timeline in my head, and I had to watch a few videos about it. And I think how it goes is, so it was in Captain America, right? Captain America had it, went into the ocean. Tony's father got it out of the ocean, brought it to S.H.I.E.L.D. And I think what happened was Pegasus, the thing that Marvel was working for, was a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. She took the Tesseract, hid it in the spaceship. Then Captain Marvel happened. The Flurkin spit up the Tesseract, and then boom. Then it's back with S.H.I.E.L.D.
See, the reason I get what you're saying, and what you're saying makes perfect sense, but this is what I'm not sure about with Captain Marvel. I'm not sure if she went back in time or it was like just an alternate dimension. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if time exists for her, what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if when the movie first started, right? When the movie first started and she's on the Kree planet.
Yeah, the Kree homeworld.
Is that the 90s? You know what I'm saying? Or did she just end up going back to the dimension of 96? So I don't know if.
Nah, you fucking with me right now.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if other stones exist in all of these different dimensions. Because that's one of the theories for Endgame. One of the theories for Endgame is that they're gonna go do time traveling and they're gonna go around and collect other stones. So I don't know if Captain Marvel actually went back in time.
Because time and space is a little different than time on a planet, which is interesting.
Could the Tesseract have been swallowed by Goose?
The Flurkin, yeah.
Right? Swallowed by the Flurkin.
Because
there was a form of it still in his stomach.
Okay.
But somewhere else it was given to S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, now you blowing my mind.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just asking. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's interesting that maybe that's why she didn't age, because they didn't really explain why she didn't age between Captain Marvel and Endgame.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because things move slower in space. Maybe that's why the Guardians don't look that much older.
Yeah, and I don't think she would leave the Rambos for 25 years, bro. After being reunited with them, I don't think she would just disappear on them for another 25 years. That would just seem odd to me.
I think that what they're trying to do is, like, you know how Wonder Woman now, for DC, all the Wonder Woman movies take place before Justice League, like in the past. Like the next Wonder Woman movie is, I think it's called Wonder Woman 1987. So I think what they're gonna do with Captain Marvel is that they're gonna keep all her movies in the past, in a sense, and they might just keep her in space, but say it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy, where the Guardians 1 and 2, they take place like a month apart from each other, but they're in 2014, and then boom, they're just in 2018 when Infinity War happens. I think that's what they're gonna do with her, and then I think her series is gonna be leading up to her being called back to Earth. I don't know. That's just me speculating, but I think that's how they're gonna do it, because, like, I don't know if they want to keep her in the present, because maybe that's a little too weird of a time jump. It's very Captain America-y. Maybe they want to keep her in space to see, maybe in another movie she'll meet a young Yondu, or young Peter Quill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of possibilities for them to keep her in the past, so you could see kind of how maybe some things in the present come to be in, like, the realm of space and the galaxies and whatnot.
Oh, we're done with Earth for Phase 4 of Marvel.
You think so?
Oh, 100%. Like,
you have like Black Widow.
Definitely going into the cosmos.
I think, yeah.
Black Widow, okay.
Black Widow, Shang-Chi. The Eternals is in space. That movie's in space.
Eternals in space.
Yeah. I don't know who.
Shang-Chi, I'm not really understanding what that's going to be about.
There were some leaks. It's like the leaks that have come out say it's going to be like Matrix meets like a Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah.
Which I think would be cool.
Maybe Marvel might get to the point to where, especially now with the merger between Disney and Fox, like everything doesn't have to be MCU.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you'll have your MCU stuff, but Black Widow may not necessarily. Well, she gotta be, right?
Well, since we're talking about it, it's like official now. Disney owns Fox, and Disney now owns Fantastic Four, X-Men. All that stuff is back home, as well as Family Guy, Avatar, Aliens, Planet of the Apes. Just a whole. They have like a whole monopoly on the game right now.
Bottom line is, go get the Disney streaming service. All right? They're going to force you to get the Disney streaming service. So
because they're going to put everything on that.
Absolutely. So you might as well think about what you're going to delete. What do you have now that you don't need? Whether it's Hulu, Netflix, whatever the fuck it is.
Hulu's owned by Disney too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They own a part of it. I did see that.
Well, now they own, I think, the majority stake in it. I think before they used to own 30%. Now they own more because 20th Century Fox also owned a part of Hulu. So I think they own most of Hulu now. So I don't know if they'll turn Hulu into it, but that Disney service coming, and they're going to drop like all the X-Men movies that haven't come out yet. I'm telling you right now, they're going to go right to that because they don't want that anymore. Now they're just going to start over.
I feel like I wonder how far in advance the writers have been cooking up this Marvel thing. Because truth be told, if we were doing this the correct way, there's no need to rush into the X-Men right now.
Of course.
The most easy segue from where we're at now in the Marvel Universe is to go into Fantastic Four.
I think what the reports have come out said that you won't see any of those Fox characters in the Marvel Universe until at least 2021.
Really?
Yeah. So there's
That
gonna
makes sense.
there's gonna be a few years in between that we have to wait to see them. And I don't even think that they're gonna get their own movie in 2021 because now they're legally allowed to start writing these movies and working on these things. So I think it won't happen until 2022, 2023 that we'll see. I think Fantastic Four is the easiest for them to put in because they can just throw them in there. You don't really need an explanation as to where they've been. X-Men is gonna be a little harder.
Yeah, X-Men is going to be super difficult because the problem with X-Men, and I've always said this, is the problem that DC has. You try to take all of these characters, put them in a motherfucking movie, and just say here to the viewing audience. Like, no, like everything needs a setup. Like I think a proper X-Men movie should start with one of the characters. Just one.
Just a Wolverine movie.
I don't even know if it should be Wolverine. I think that's like the easy thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like another intro, and maybe Cyclops, because Cyclops was always the unofficial leader of the X-Men.
I love Cyclops, and they've done him so dirty.
That's what I'm saying. Like they've always treated him like a throwaway character.
Exactly.
Why not start it through the POV of Cyclops or something and see where that goes? You know.
I think Marvel's really good at making like obscure. I wouldn't say Cyclops is obscure. That's kind of disrespectful. But I think that they're good at making characters that are looked at as lesser characters bigger and make them more popular. And I think that's exactly what they can do for Cyclops.
I also wonder if Marvel would have gotten to the point it is now if they always had access to all these characters. Because the beauty of what we've seen in the MCU is like what you just said. They've taken the C-list and B-list characters and made them A-list now. You know, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America might have been A-list already, but
yeah,
Iron
Man was more like BC.
Yeah,
BC
Iron Man's
list.
definitely BC. But I'm saying they took all of these mid-level, at least in the comic books, these mid-level stars and made them the guys now.
And now Iron Man's the most popular character.
So I don't know. I always wonder if that would have happened if they would have had access to the A-list comic book stars from the beginning. So it kind of scares me a little bit with the Disney-Fox merger. Because you could easily fuck this up.
I don't think they're going to I think that's why we're not going to see anything for years because, you know, imagine tomorrow Kevin Feige just comes out and he's like, yo, next year, Fantastic Four movie. I'd be worried because I wouldn't want them to rush it. I think that's them pulling the trigger too quick. I think that's them rushing into things. I think they're going to take their time. They're going to calculate it. They're going to figure out how they want to introduce everything because you got to remember, like, a lot of these movies, there's a big gap between them. It's been 3 years since Doctor Strange already, or 2-3 years already, and we're probably not going to get a Doctor Strange movie until probably next year after next year, which I'm not complaining about because you know it makes time for more different types of movies. And it stretches out the character's length in the universe.
I think you're right because I was reading rumors about Namor.
Yeah,
appearing in either.
Oh yeah, because I sent that.
Oh yeah,
to
you sent it to me. Yeah. Either Black. Well, they always talked about Black Panther too, but now they're talking about Doctor Strange.
Yeah, because the Scott Derrickson, the director for Doctor Strange, he tweeted out a photo. I forgot what the caption was, but it was a photo of Doctor Strange and Namor together. And I immediately, because this was right after we recorded the episode about him being in Black Panther 2, whatever. And I thought that'd be a cool way for him to introduce it because you know aside from Black Panther, I read that the rights to Namor are like the Hulk, so the Hulk can only appear in like Marvel movies. He can't get his own movies. The distribution's through Universal, but Namor can do the same thing where he can appear in movies, but he can't have his own.
Even now?
I believe so. Wow. Because it's still, I think it's with Universal, not Fox.
But that would make sense though. I mean, the characters that I thought they said Namor was with Fox, but the characters that they have that they can't give a whole movie to, yes, let them appear in the 2021 films.
Doctor Strange, whatever it is. And I think Doctor Strange would be an interesting way for them to introduce him. I think it'd be a really cool trip to Atlantis, do like all this like underwater stuff, you know, maybe introduce some magic in Atlantis. That would be kind of dope also.
Who's on the Phase 4 schedule? Do we know?
No, they said that they're not going to announce anything until Endgame is over. And they were talking, because there's like a whole bunch of new interviews now with Endgame coming out next month, and Kevin Feige was talking about how when they announced all these movies before, they didn't feel rushed by them, but they kind of felt like, oh, you know, like remember how we were talking about how we felt like Captain Marvel was a little rushed in terms of promotion, and so was Black Panther. They kind of just kept on going to the next thing instead of focusing on what they already had coming out that year. And so going back to that, the only movies that we really know are coming will probably be the new Spider-Man, Black Widow's happening, Eternals is happening, Doctor Strange 2 will come, and then it was just announced that James Gunn is back.
For Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yep, back as Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Which I really appreciated because I just do not understand holding people accountable and responsible for old tweets.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially tweets from like 2005.
Yes, the world was different. The climate of everything was different. I was watching a old episode of the Boondocks. I actually posted it on my page from Riley Freeman. And Riley, they used to say the F word on Boondocks like crazy. I'm talking about the F word that's a gay slur. They just say it crazy. And that was just regular. That was Adult Swim cartoon television.
And
Nobody
if you
tripped.
watch early 2000 movies, they say it all the time.
All the time. So it's just like, I just find it very weird that they would get rid of somebody for old tweets. So it's good that they brought him back because I was very worried about.
And someone who's already apologized for it previously. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He just didn't delete them after he apologized. Because, you don't really think to delete them after you apologize the first time.
Yep.
And then they just brought it back up. And but apparently, Disney didn't meet with anybody else. This decision was made months ago, and he already planned to do it after he already signed on. He actually just signed on to do the Suicide Squad, which is being called the one with Idris Elba replacing Will Smith, which they're calling is a remake of the one that we just saw. So they're rebooting the Suicide Squad, but with James Gunn doing it.
He's still doing it? No, he's not doing it
No,
anymore.
he's still doing it. So the plan is he's going to do the Suicide Squad, and then when he's done with the Suicide Squad, he's going to do Guardians 3, and I think the production date is set for 2021 for Guardians 3. So we got to wait a long time.
I'm not in the Suicide
Come
Squad,
on,
bro.
Charlamagne, look. Let me tell you something.
No way,
Let me tell you
Jose.
something. One of these days we're gonna do a real deep dive. I'm gonna bring a DC fan in here.
Okay.
We're gonna do a real deep dive onto your hatred of DC.
I'm not into it. I don't like
No,
none of the new all the new DC shit coming out looks whack.
We're gonna do a real deep dive into like the core reason why you hate them so
You
much.
think Shazam looks good?
I think Shazam looks great.
Really?
I think Shazam looks great, and I'll stand by that.
What about that other shit with Robot Man?
Robot Man?
Is that DC? You know what I'm talking about? It's like a group of superheroes.
What group?
Hold on, I just saw this shit. It's like a guy named Robot Man. I don't know if that's DC or not. Let me not.
No,
say
I don't
that.
think that's DC.
But Shazam looks whack.
Because no, Shazam looks great. Shazam looks great, and I'm standing by that. And it's
Where is that even gonna fall? Like if they're trying to create a universe for DC, where's that gonna be?
I don't think what they're doing now is creating a universe. I think what they're doing now is creating stories. So think of it as like kind of like Tales to Astonish in Marvel. I think that's what I think that's kind of the road that they're going down right now because, they tried the universe thing, they rushed it, it didn't work. So they're really focusing now on building franchises. They focus on building Wonder Woman, they focus on building Aquaman, and now they're going to start with Shazam. And I think Shazam's going to be great because I love the actor that's portraying like Shazam himself, and the trailers look really good. And the sequel to the movie will have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Black Adam. I think that this series has a lot of potential, and I also heard that there's a Superman cameo in it to some extent.
If I am DC, I'm not even saying things like it could be a Shazam sequel because you don't fucking know.
I'm pretty sure they already signed on to do the second one.
But it could flop.
I don't think Shazam's gonna. I think it's gonna be fun because they're actually making fun movies now. Aquaman was fun. It wasn't my favorite movie. I have my opinions about it, and I have reasons why I didn't like it. But Shazam just looks like a fun movie, and with a good villain, and it just there's a lot of things that they're not showing in the trailer that I kind of read about online about his character and like their background and his villains that they're gonna put in the movie, and I think it's gonna be great. And there's like Batman references, there's Superman references, there's references to the greater DC movie universe, and while that greater DC movie universe isn't amazing, I still think that it's like a nice little touch on things.
But see, that's the problem. They should have done this beforehand. They had no reason to rush to get to a Justice League movie. They could have just did the individual franchises. Mm-hmm. They could have did it. I wouldn't even have done Superman and none of that shit first. I would have did Aquaman. Mm-hmm. I'd have did Wonder Woman, and then build up to everything else. I don't even think you need another Batman at this point, even in this universe.
Well, the Batman's going to be a prequel. It's going to be a younger Batman. They're going to find somebody else to play Batman.
Yeah.
But I'm into that. And that's why I think that these movies are going to work now because it's no longer about, hey, we're building up to fight Darkseid. We're building up to fight this big cosmic entity. We're building up to fight our Thanos. We're just going to tell stories now.
So in Wonder Woman and Aquaman, because I've never seen either, do they reference?
You never seen either Wonder Woman or Aquaman? Come on, Charlamagne. Those are two.
I am committed to my fuck DC mentality.
We got to get a DC person on here so we can figure out why
Do they make any references to the larger DC universe?
Wonder Woman, I believe, does, and I don't really remember. Aquaman kind of stays in a self-contained story,
Which is weird because they just finished fighting Darkseid and all that shit, right?
not Darkseid. They Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf, whatever the fuck.
I think but Aquaman really worked as just an Aquaman movie. It was very self-contained. I'm pretty sure there weren't any besides Mera. There weren't any, larger DC EU references, maybe in like a newspaper clipping or something like that. But there wasn't anything like over the top, like bashing you on the head, like, hey, look, there's Batman. Hey, look, there's Superman. It was just an Aquaman movie. And that's why I think Shazam's going to work, because Shazam is like a fun character as a kid. He looks up to Superman, Batman, Aquaman, and then he just becomes a superhero himself. And then, they make the references here and there, and then that's it. And then he just does his thing.
Boo! I'm just hating.
You're not even going to go see Shazam, man?
I might. I might.
You
Honestly,
should.
I might.
Honestly,
it looks so corny, though. It looks very corny. Like, I get mad at the poster, watching it at the movie theater, watching him lean up against the shit, blowing a bubble. I'm like, I want to kick that shit over.
You can't think of a Marvel movie that's corny that you've watched?
Yeah.
I mean, we in the past we've talked about Daredevil and Elektra and
the
all.
First Incredible Hulk, all that original.
Okay, but you saw them, but you went to go see them though.
Daredevil, but Marvel has so much cachet with me in my life that I will go see any Marvel film, and if it's whack, it's whack. But they've given me more hits than they have misses.
So
DC's giving me more misses than they have hits, so they have to earn my viewing, expertise.
So having James Gunn direct a Suicide Squad movie and having Idris Elba replace Will Smith in it, that doesn't intrigue you at all?
Kind of intriguing. Kind of.
Do you think Idris Elba could replace Will Smith? Do you think he could do?
Yes, because that movie was so forgettable.
You didn't think Will Smith was good as Deadshot though?
No, I didn't like the best. You know what I liked about that movie? I liked Harley Quinn's character.
Harley Quinn.
Not Harley Quinn. Fuck him. I didn't like the Joker. The girl.
Yeah, Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, she killed it.
I like her character.
Well, that's why she's getting her own movie and nobody else is.
That was she was the best thing in that movie. Everything else was trash.
But like with James Gunn directing it, he's really good at now. Well, I guess you could say with Guardians, but he's really good at making obscure characters become cool and like hip. And I think he's using a bunch of obscure characters from DC, more obscure than the ones that were in that movie, and they're making it into the Suicide Squad.
Oh, so it's not any of the characters from before?
No, they're rebooting. They're calling it a reboot. And they're not calling it Suicide Squad 2. They're not calling it Suicide Squad, Volume 2, none of that shit. They're calling it The Suicide Squad.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's going to be all the villains.
It's going to be villains. Yeah, it's going to be a bunch of villains. It's going to, and I guess Idris Elba's going to play Deadshot in the movie.
So Deadshot's the only returning villain.
And maybe Harley Quinn, but they didn't really say anything about that just yet. Yeah, now you're a little intrigued by
that's
it.
A little intrigued.
I think with James Gunn doing it, I think it would be cool because look what he did with Guardians. I think that's all you need to really look at.
Because Guardians were some obscure characters to a lot of people.
They were obscure to like everybody.
Yeah,
they all have very different backgrounds in the comics than they did in the actual movies.
And it ended up being extremely dope.
Yeah, unlike the last Suicide Squad.
Who else we got? What else we got?
All right, so while we were out last week, the new Avengers Endgame trailer dropped.
Yes.
And it was funny because it was like the day that you went away too. So I was like, damn, man, we got to talk about this. So what did you think of it?
I thought it was dope. I don't need no more trailers though. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Like the only thing they really showed us kind of new was the end with Thor and Captain Marvel.
Which they can do now.
They can do now.
From what you've seen of Captain Marvel and Endgame, what do you think so far? I mean, there's not a lot to go off of, but I really enjoyed the interaction between.
The Thor Captain Marvel shit. They look too happy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't look stressed the fuck out. They didn't look like, half of the world had just been motherfucking destroyed. Like I like the darkness of the other trailers where the loss, the hopelessness.
You didn't like the joke at the end, is what you're trying to say, where he was like, "I like this one."
Yeah, it looked like they was like y'all just had fucking Starbucks and now let's go just try to save.
Because when you see her in the post-credit scene of Captain Marvel and she like pops up behind them and all that, that was kind of scary. Like it wasn't like a jump scare, but it was kind of like she looks like she's going through it. They look like they're going through it. They're trying to figure out what this thing is that Fury had. I don't even want to ask how they found that little device that Fury had, because that was like in the middle of like some street in some city.
But he probably tracked his car.
Yeah, they probably tracked the signal, whatever. But
and then Captain Marvel had on like casual clothes.
Why was that weird to you?
Because there's no time for casual clothes.
She definitely had casual clothes. Okay.
It's Endgame. Like, we in the Endgame. You know when Dr. Strange said in Infinity War, we in the Endgame now, baby. Like, You came for action. You came there. You got your suit on.
Yeah.
Where Fury at? I mean, I don't know. Unless they was still in the midst of figuring out a plan. I don't know. But I just didn't. Even Thor, you weren't ready for action either.
I know he was in like his hoodie and sweatpants.
Yeah, like
and
you about to go kick a freestyle or something. Like where the action at, baby?
I think that they're just all stuck in that Avengers base and they're just trying to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do.
Yeah, but I wasn't mad at it. I just saw that and I was like, I don't want downtime in this movie.
I think
there was no downtime in Infinity War. Do you realize that? Zero.
Yeah.
Infinity War is action, action, action. Think about it. They go from Thanos and the Hulk on Ragnarok, then they go to Tony Stark's and Pepper Potts walking in the park, and then Doctor Strange shows up. Then immediately,
then they go to space. And
before that, they come attack New York again.
New York, and then space, and then they go to Wakanda.
Do they go to space after that?
Yeah, they go to space because that's when he takes Doctor Strange up into the ship, and then they
boom.
Yeah,
and then they go to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like yes, it's nonstop action.
But this movie, I think, is going to be a little calmer in the first hour or two because I think what they're trying to do, they're trying to tell a really personal story about the original six. And if you notice, they show, I guess, a flashback scene of Hawkeye training his daughter how to shoot an arrow.
Yeah.
And that scene right there, that kind of like hints at the future that like his daughter's going to become Hawkeye one day. Because his daughter in the comics, Kate Bishop, is Hawkeye. So I think that's a cool little way to kind of tease the future Avengers or the new Avengers, the kid Avengers, whatever you want to call them, that are going to be there. And I think that are going to be in the time travel part of the film. But it was cool. It was just, the trailer was mostly flashback scenes of like, it opens up with him talking about him being in the suit, busting out of the cave, and then it shows Captain America from the first movie in the past. I think that they're really trying to just not show anything. And the Russos came out and they were talking about how they enjoy changing how the trailer looks and like changing what we see to throw us off from what the film's actually about. So it makes you wonder, because like it's like what they did with Hulk in Infinity War. It makes you wonder like what did they change in this trailer to make us think that's going to happen that's not actually going to happen. And
why did they show us that Tony Stark makes it out of space safe and sound?
Did you expect him not to?
Yeah, but why show us that now? Like why put out the first trailer where you're showing us this guy's lost in space, and that became such a big talking point.
Like, how's he going to survive? How's he going to get back?
Does he survive? Is he going to get back? And now just to show us him with them, I'm like, why? What's the point?
I'm perfectly okay with it because, like, I think you needed one scene of some of them together like that. And I think that scene of them walking in their, I guess they're calling them the quantum realm suits.
That helps them to time travel.
Yeah, that helps them time travel, help them shrink or whatever. I think that worked out. I think that worked out nicely. And I liked how they were all together at the end. And it really, goosebumps at the end of the trailer.
Listen, I can't wait. That's why I don't need no more trailers. I'm ready for April 26th.
Did you notice? What was I gonna say about that? I thought that one of the people that I think looks best in that film, and I really hope that they let him shine, is Rhodey. I think Rhodey looks dope as fuck. I really think War Machine always kind of gets the short end of the stick in the movies.
I mean, he's really just an accessory. He's a sidekick. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's necessary. I like the fact that he's there. I want fucking somebody in Wakanda to do over Falcon shit. Falcon's armor, his suit.
Oh, it's terrible.
Please give Falcon an upgrade. My God.
I really want to know what Dana Guerrero. That's how you say her name.
Yeah.
I want to know what her character's doing in the movie because she's like on the poster, and she's like, her name's up there, and she's not in any of the trailers. So it makes me wonder like when or how or what they're going to do. Like, are they going to go back to Wakanda and do something?
The movie she's
on the poster. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of I don't know. I want to know what her role in it. And Benedict Wong, his character is also listed in the credits too. So I want to know what their roles in this movie are because we haven't seen anything from them, and I think they both survived.
The movie got to start in Wakanda, don't it?
I think it starts at their base. I think that's where they're going to start at. They're going to. Because that's where all the trailers seem.
You don't think you see anything else after?
I think it's just gonna pick up with them like maybe a year later, and they're still at the base.
Oh, got you.
I think it's actually gonna be a time jump, and that's when you're gonna see all this stuff happen.
Yeah, I wonder if Thor is gonna constantly question whether he should have fucking hit Thanos in the head.
I think that's gonna be one of the key points for his character in the movie is him being regretful because technically all this is his fault.
Yeah,
him and Quill's fault. If Quill had stopped him on Titan, none of this would have happened. If Quill didn't start beating his ass, and then if he hit him in the head or the hand, chopped off his arm, something like that, none of this would have happened either.
What else I find interesting, too, is like when you see all of those guys in their suits, right? you see that unit together. Like
Yeah.
it's like Rocket Raccoon, Tony Stark, Nebula. I think War Machine is in there.
Yep.
Captain America,
Ant-Man.
Where are the gods at? Meaning, where's Thor? Where's Captain Marvel? Where's Hulk? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
like,
didn't
what
think
are they?
about-
What are they going? What are they doing?
I didn't think about that. They didn't show them in
They
the
don't
trailer.
show them in that trailer when they're all
So
walking with their
do you think
suits.
you think that the 3 strongest people on the team are somewhere else?
That wouldn't make any sense, right? It would seem like they would want one of those weapons of mass destruction with them. You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Where do you think they're at?
I have no idea. That's what I'm saying. Like, why? Like, that's such a powerful scene in the trailer. Why? Where are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, is what I'm saying.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see it. We're only a month away now. We're quite literally in the end game. Before we go, you had a screening of Us the other day.
I did.
Let's get a quick review. Let's. I mean, I didn't get to go. It was my father's birthday, but I really wanted to know your thoughts on the movie because we were hearing mixed reviews and
I was thoroughly entertained. I heard those same mixed reviews.
kind of like with Captain Marvel. How there were mixed reviews out.
Captain Marvel was more hate. Like, it was really just people hating on Captain Marvel. Because even now, I really, honestly, truly don't know why people don't like Captain Marvel. I could see why some people
May dislike it a little
wouldn't
bit.
like us. I mean, I don't even see why you dislike it. It's just on the scale of Marvel movies. If this is say the average Marvel movie is a what, 8?
8, 7.5, 8.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's right up there
right
with Ant-Man
there.
and Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So it's like I don't understand that. But with Us, I heard the mixed reviews. A lot of people that I trust told me that they didn't like the movie. I was thoroughly entertained. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it even more after I had a conversation with Salute to Nyla. Nyla's homeboy. I can't remember his name, but me and him had a conversation outside the movie theater, and he was breaking it down about how it's a movie about classism, which I already had caught, right? But it's like it is a movie about classism. If Get Out was about racism, Us is about classism. And Jordan Peterson came out today and said that Us is a double meaning for United States, which I figured out that night
Oh wow,
as well.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, because basically the movie is just about how America treats the poor, the disenfranchised, the oppressed, and the marginalized. It's really about class. And if America doesn't do right by those people, eventually those people will revolt. You know what I'm saying? They will. It will be a revolution in some way, shape, or form. And I just feel like it also, like, I think they looked alike because he was trying to say, when you see poor and disenfranchised people, when you see oppressed people, when you see marginalized people, see yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because they're part of the human race like you're part of the human race. So it is a us thing. As much as we try to act like it's a me thing or an I thing, no, it is an us thing. And I think that's what he was trying to say. But it's really just a movie about classism, and I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. So I would encourage a lot of people to go see it. And it's little symbolism in there that you're gonna Google later and be like, okay, this makes perfect sense.
That's dope. I'm really excited to see it. I'm really upset that I didn't get to go see it the other day. But I'm after hearing all these things that you're saying about it and like hearing what Nyla's friend said about it, I think it's gonna be worth it.
All right.
100%.
Dope.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we'll be back next week with another episode of Comic Kings.
Yes, sir.
Avengers Endgame is only a month away. We're getting ready for it. We're looking forward to it. Shazam drops in about 2 weeks from now. It's Comic Kings.
I'm gonna go see it, man.
You're gonna go see it?
I'm gonna go see it.
Oh man, Charlamagne going to a DC movie. Wow. Who would have thought? All right, it's Comic King. See you next week.